will be looking forward to the relaxation of national restrictions. As lockdown eases, we should focus on supporting the livelihoods of business owners and their employees up and down the country. As lockdown eases.
So after I saw the news and a lot of people going outside through social medias, I was just sitting there thinking, why? Why did this happen? And that's what led me to do the artwork I'm about to show you. So pretty much I went outside, took a bird's eye view of the grass, and then just put it in Photoshop, resize it to 16 by 9. Afterwards, I then push up the saturation and the vibrance, make it look nicer and more of a vibrant green color. And then I end up putting a lot of grid onto the photo using a ruler tool. Using the grid, I inverted a lot of the squares to shape it like a chessboard. And there is a link to this because of contrasting and an idea of personal space, group space, linking to social distancing. In some area there is good color meaning within the photo. Green shows a natural color, a feeling of calm and down to earth, while purple gives me the idea of purity and calmness. These two are mixed within this picture to emphasize the idea of how our world was originally in a good shape and design. It was peaceful and calm before we existed. Lastly, I used orange dots to represent people within the park area. Using orange makes the color scheme triadic, containing orange, lilac and green. Overall, this piece gives me the feeling of distorted. It's out of shape and places. Why? This is probably because of how the orange dots were placed in a random order to show social distancing. But if you look into the center of the photo, there's a huge crowd of circles there. Why is that? This is because there will be people who breaks the rule by going outside in a massive group, more than 6, and sits together in the park. There are contrasts between before the orange dots existed and after. Before the orange dots, the photo is calm and pure, with the nature as it has been complemented by the green and lilac. Once the orange dots appear, there is slight contrast within the photo, destroying the peaceful and calm of the nature itself. I have linked this to the COVID alert levels, which UK is sitting at 4, which happens to be orange too. There is still the danger of COVID-19, but some people seem to not care, as it might not affect them as much as it affects others, hence the center of the photo with loads of orange dots. It is hard to put this into words, but there is a slight feelings of disappointment from looking at the orange dots in the center area of the photo. In other part of this photo, it doesn't bring me the disappointment, knowing that one day this will recover back to the original shape, where social distancing will not have an effect on your emotion, and it should be okay to see these orange dotted in the photo. I can imagine myself coming back to this photo in a year or two, and this current emotion that I have towards this photo will not appear, as things can change. I want to express the idea of how emotion can change from time to time when you are looking at the same thing. Next, I want to manipulate the photo so that it gives the photo another texture. By this I mean that I could try and manipulate the photo so that there are further sound effects and people talking in the background to show the scenario of what it would be like in the park.
Jesus Christ, it feels like lockdown lasted like 6 years. My parents are actually driving me nuts. It's insane.
And now, you know what? Light is going. We have 1 star out. We have a moon.
आज लाइट चली गई हमारे पास कोई दूसरा आर्टिफिशियल लाइट नहीं हमारे पास नहीं
Yeah, let's use
तो
yeah,
वो
let's be
अब
natural.
Well, yeah, that's it. I try to emphasize that the middle group all have the same opinion. And yeah, that is it for this week prep.